Tone it down a little bit. This bum's gonna recite.
The end in Alaska of a very proud name. The boys were all drinking and talking of ass, of virgins and whores, and rolls in the grass, of fairies and cocksmen, and old Moby Dick, who drove the girls crazy with a wart on his prick. Now over all this commotion, in the corner sparks flew, for there on the floor, on top of a whore, lay Dangerous Dan McGrew. Then out of the night, as black as a bitch, and into the din and smoke, came a shaky old prick right up from the crick, with a rusty load in his poke. He rolled out his cock to display to the flock, and every asshole squirmed. He drew from his belt a big bag of gold, and laid it down with a grin. He turned to the crowd and said in a loud voice, "I've come to give Dangerous Dan a choice. This gold is for pleasure, and I am here to say I'll spend every nickel for one damn good lay. So here's the deal, straight and neat. That girl you're on, Dan, or are you in the seat?" A hush, still as death, came o'er that place, and the only smile seen was on the face of that old weazened stranger called Ace. The crowd sat and waited for Dan to get through, and the matter at hand between the two. "You'll not touch the gal while I'm still on hand," said the stranger, "then it's your ass, Dangerous Dan." The crowd made a clearing as they circled round, each eyeing the other, but neither gave ground. The lights went out, I ducked to the floor, and the stranger sprang in the dark. His aim was true, and the sparks they flew, when his Doniker found its mark. Mid might and main and screams of pain, and a man's voice was heard in the room. There were sighs and moans and farts and groans, and 3 bodies lay stacked in the gloom. Then a moan of delight mingled with pain, a scream, then a moan, again and again. The crowd was astounded as the lights were lit, and showed 2 men locked together, all covered with shit. A figure arose from the 2 locked together, staggered out of the bar and into the weather. For there on the floor, with his asshole tore, lay poor old Dangerous Dan.